Greetings and salutations. So previously we looked at a television film. Um, like this time we're looking at a film called The Burning Season. This was a made-for-television documentary about environmental activist Chaco Mendez, who fought to protect the Amazon rainforest. This was also Raul Julia's last film during his lifetime.
What's your name?
Elio.
I'm Chico. Maybe we should take that lunch break. I'm a little thirsty myself.
And it premiered 5 weeks before his death. I got to say this was really good. I've never really known about the man who the topic is based on. Yeah, at the same time, I'm gonna say that the director, John Frankenheimer, he does a really good job when it comes to, like, say, directing on how he wants a shot to be done, like the production value of this film. Yeah, thinking about it this way, it is a made for television film. Sometimes when we get, like, biographical films that are made for television, sometimes we think like, it didn't really translate well. But I gotta say, they did a really good job. This film made me interested in, like, wanting to like look up a podcast or looking up a like an audio thing of the man. Anyway,
When I was a boy, I saw him let a terrible thing happen. Because that's what we do. We bend our backs and we let them beat us and we tell each other everything will be better in the next life.
because in a way, like nowadays we know, like, hey, that rainforest is, they have a lot of issues in a way. And I thought that a lot of the motions and, like, which sequences in which uh Chico 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 he is telling, he is in certain moments trying to talk to someone to, in ways like, say, hey, please put the chainsaws down, please put the chainsaws down, because, like, say, at any moment he could end up being killed, like, because, like, yeah, like, he goes to protest against them. And all that. And I gotta say, I really thought this was really good. I thought the moment in which he goes to, like, he gets invited to America, to basically talk to how, like, hey, um, like, he gets invited to America because a, filmmaker is trying to tell him, like, say, hey, we're wanting to learn about what is going on there. At the same time, when he's there, it seems like basically everyone else is just in, like, say, huh, here's this fellow, and he's saving the rainforest and all. They don't really see him as, you know a man they probably should be taken serious and all that. Um, and at this same time, I really kind of like the sequences in which, like, say, okay, there are some dramatic moments, like, say, the way the film is shot. The film, even though, like, yes, it has wide angles, it has moments of, like, say, hey, different shots, like, say, different angles and all that. The moments in which, like, say, characters are just sitting in a room talking to one another. There's a sequence in which, he's talking to the folks, um, like trying to tell them, like, say, get them to understand his different perspectives. I'm gonna say in that, like, say, the way certain sequences are shot, they kind of remind me of, like, something you would see in theater.
Let's have some real give and take. We stop the burning, you help us with the road.
The government will work with you, Shiku, if you just let us move ahead without any interruption.
That's right. Your members invest their labor in the Amazon. I invest my capital. What's the difference? We're brothers. In a way, aren't we?
Like, the way certain moments are, like, say, hey, how close they are to each other. Like, in a way, how it feels very personal, in a way. And yeah, I really liked this. I thought that the performances were fairly well done. The moment, I just felt like, say, yeah, because, like, at the end, like, when you're finding out the film, like, yes, the man had tragically been assassinated. And the moment in which, like, he is, like, talking to his family, and family's trying to tell him, like, say, hey, we need to get out of here. Like, it would probably be the best idea for us to try to run away. And then, he's just, like, trying to say, hey, no, because he had just given his family gifts, and it wasn't even Christmas and all.
For Mama. And look what I carved for Elenita.
But so the moment in which he is just, like, walking outside and then he gets shot. I thought they did a great job of, like, selling all the little motions, like, say, even the actress who plays his wife, she is able to give a performances that feels so organic.
Elenita, look after your brother!
Good lives for ourselves and for our children. If you help us do that, then the rainforest will be there for you and I'm only against the road because the road means
Like, you can actually feel, like, say, hey, all the actors, in a way, they have good chemistry with each other. Like, you can see how, like, all the connections that they would have to each other, in a way, fairly work very well. So, I would say this film was fairly well done. It was really quite surprising, since, this was a made-for-television, film for, a biographical drama and all that. But yeah, I gotta say it was fairly well done. And at the same time, it kind of made me think, like, when you're watching a film like this, it kind of gives you that little bit of hope that things could get better. Anyway, so I thought this was fairly well done. I'll see you next time.